please stand and join us in I Walk by Faith. Ooh, yeah. I walk by faith, each step by faith, to live by faith. I put my trust in you again. I walk by faith, each step by faith, to live by faith. I put my trust in you. Every step I take is a step of faith, and Spirit walks before me to guide me. Every prayer I make is a prayer of faith. I give my life to you, God, trusting all the way. I walk by faith, each step by faith, to live by faith. I put my trust in you. I walk by faith, each step by faith, to live by faith. I put my trust in you. Every step I take is a step of faith, and Spirit walks before me to guide me. Every prayer I make is a prayer of faith. I give my life to you, God, trusting all the way. I walk by faith, each step by faith, to live by faith. I put my trust in you. By faith, each step by faith, to live by faith. I put my trust in you. Yeah. I walk by faith, each step by faith, to live by faith. I put my trust in you. I walk by faith, each step by faith, each step to live by faith. I put my trust in you. By faith, each step by faith, to live by faith. I put my trust in you. All right, have a seat, folks.
Good morning. Are we all awake? And welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. I'm Hope Ford, and it's my pleasure to be here at the service with you this morning and to welcome you. Please join me in waving hello to our online visitors. Yeah. Your presence adds to our spiritual community. We appreciate you. We're blessed to have with our musicians this morning as our musicians, Gregory Joe Bledsoe and the Source of Light Band. And you'll be happy to know that they do have CDs available on the patio. Yeah. Before we begin, let's turn off all our electronic devices, and please turn them completely off so they don't interfere with the transmission. Thank you. All right. Let's open our service by focusing our intention through our opening affirmation. Please join me in prayerfully and powerfully speaking it 3 times together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Again, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And once again, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Let's continue by reading aloud our statement of unity. God's love is within each of us, guiding us to dynamically express wholeness, wisdom, and abundance. We acknowledge the universal wisdom in the Christ teachings and in all spiritual paths. I now choose to open to the presence of divine love and to be changed at depth. Throughout this sacred time, God is uplifting me, and through my heart, the world. And now our heart minister, C.L. Gerke, will read from Unity's Daily Word.
The word for today is gratitude. Music is a universal language that, even without words, can calm us or lift our spirits. A venerable hymn reminds me to count my blessings and name them one by one. When troubles loom, I put a song on my lips and count the blessings in my life. I soon remember that problems have no power to weaken my faith in God, and I am thankful for divine solutions. When my heart is full of gratitude, I feel songs of praise and thanksgiving bubble up within me. In high spirits, I joyfully hum, drum, whistle, or sing a tune to express my appreciation. Whatever form my expression takes, I make a joyful noise to the Lord and invite all who hear to join in singing praises. And from Isaiah 12:5, sing praises to the Lord, for he has done gloriously. Let this be known in all the earth. And today's affirmation: with a heart full of gratitude, I sing a song of praise. Would you all say that with me, please? With a heart full of gratitude, I sing a song full of praise.
Outside and see war and poverty, but there is peace, sharing and harmony. Things in life remind you we create by what we think, say and do. You see, it's up to you. Be the peace you seek, be the peace
peace should speak.
We can shift within the hour. Choice is ours, we have the power of fearless and happiness. As you grow and peace yourself, it touches everyone else, and it will grow. The world will know.
Be the peace, the peace should speak. Be the peace, the peace should speak.
Ever growing, aware of knowing, love's the key. The will to change and rearrange. Put fear aside, love will guide, peace will remain. Let us save our Mother Earth. No more fighting over turf or technology, polluting air, land, and sea. We can open hearts and minds when we start to take the time and let love flow. The world will know.
Be the peace, the peace should speak. Be the peace, the peace should speak.
We shall see.
The peace should speak.
I'm going to highlight a few upcoming events. The details of these and other wonderful activities are in the bulletin and on our website. Join us for Authors Day on Sunday, August 28th, after each service on the patio. You can check today's bulletin for more information. Reverend David will be holding a special heart healing session on Cut Through at 7:30 on Monday, August 29th. Do you know what your choir has been doing all summer? Creating Italian Night, Rockin' Rigatoni, a musical variety show of 60s music. This is not your grandmother's Joyful Noise Choir. We'll also be treated to a wonderful dinner catered by Chef Lauren, a former YOUer right here. Yeah. Join us under the stars at Rockin' Rigatoni on Saturday, September 10th. Purchase your tickets today on the patio and claim your seat. David and Louise DeLue have something to talk about.
Well, Louise, I don't know what to donate for the big auction October 15th. Can you help me?
Sure. I've got the same problem. Let's help each other.
Well, it's called the Unity Cruise the World on the Love Boat Dinner and Auction, so...
Okay, Love Boat. Let's focus on love.
Great idea. What do you love to do, Louise?
Well, I love to make beautiful jewelry, and I'll donate one of my necklaces.
That's a fantastic idea. I bet you can come up with even more if you dig deeper.
You're right, David. Maybe I could put together a beading class and teach 5 or 6 people how to make necklaces.
That's a fantastic idea.
Well-
Now, can you help me figure out what I should donate?
Well, what do you love to do, David?
Well, I love to travel in our motorhome.
So, cool. Could you think of something related to that?
Motorhome parking lessons.
Dig a little deeper.
Black tank flushing 101.
Wrong direction.
I know. How about a 4 days, 3 nights motorhome adventure to your choice of campground with kayaking, hiking, and all meals provided by your road crew, the Toodaloos.
Now, that's a great donation.
What about all of you? What do you want to donate to the Unity Cruise the World on the Love Boat dinner and auction?
Stop by our table. We have great ideas for you. Ideas like timeshares, theater dates, travel supplies, massages, boat rides.
Mostly, though, we'll just ask you to look inside and answer this question.
What do you love to do?
Toodaloo!
Well, I'm excited. If you're here for the first time, we invite you to raise your hand so we can acknowledge you and welcome you and those who have joined us online into our spiritual community. We truly appreciate your being with us. Please hold your hands in the air so the ushers have a special gift of a shell lei for you. And on that lei, there is a saying that goes, just as God has a design for every shell in the sea, so God has a design for your life. We have a new blessing, which you will see on the monitors. So please open your arms to our guests and join me in extending a sincere blessing. We love you, we bless you, and we behold the Christ God shining through you. And thank you for joining us today. Now, let's take a moment until the music starts to greet each other.
I feel the Spirit moving in me. I feel the Spirit moving in me. I feel the Spirit moving in me. Well, I feel the Spirit moving in me. How about some joy? I feel the joy, yeah, moving in me. Oh yeah, I feel the joy. I feel the joy moving in me. I feel the joy moving in me. I feel the love. I feel the love moving in me. 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 I feel the Spirit. I feel the Spirit moving in me. Oh yeah. I feel the Spirit moving in me. I feel the Spirit moving in me. Oh yeah. I feel the Spirit moving in me.
take that deep breath through your heart. And as you breathe out, wiggle around, get comfortable as we enter into our time of prayer and meditation together. And as we do so, we begin with letting the music take us in, and then we touch those beautiful feelings of that presence of divine love. We enter into that silence, and then we bring from that place deep within that love to bless the world. Let's begin with that music guiding us to the very center of our hearts.
I hear that music down in my soul. Down in my soul. I hear the music. I hear the music down in my soul. Down in my soul. I hear the music. I hear the music down in my soul. Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I got the power. I got a new day down in my soul.
Down in my soul,
Well, I got a new day.
I got a new day.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul,
I got a new day.
I got a new day.
Down in my soul.
Down in my
soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I feel the power. I feel the power.
I feel the power
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
When I feel that power
I feel the power
down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I feel the power
I feel the power
down in my soul.
down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. Let's bring it down. I feel the silence. I love the silence. I love
The silence
down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I love the silence.
I love the silence
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I love the silence.
I love the silence
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. And the whole wide world is my home.
As you gently breathe in through your heart, breathing in that awareness of this divine love that surrounds you, enfolds you, moves in and through you and as you, releasing and letting go, resting open and receptive. Mother, Father, God, in this journey to know you more deeply, guide us into that awareness of your love, your power, your presence enfolding us and living in and through us. How easy it is to remember the sense of your presence when we've stood on those mountain peaks and looked with awe at that world around us, or watched the sunrise, whether standing at the edge of the ocean or just looking out the window and remembering this blessed earth that you have given us to journey, to grow in. Your presence in and around us. How easy it is to feel your presence when that infant reaches out and wraps its little hand around our finger. Or we look into the eyes of someone we love and we see your beautiful light there. Thank you for awakening us to know your presence in all things and to live every moment more deeply in your love. And so we step into that place of peace that you are in our hearts. We rest in your peace. And from there we enter into that place that we call the silence. As a wonderful teacher, Mahatma Gandhi, spoke of the silence and said, "In the attitude of silence, the soul finds the path in a clearer light. And what is elusive and deceptive resolves itself into crystal clearness." So, beloved presence, we follow that direction of the Master to move from that state of peace to that state of stillness, that your presence might bring forth in our lives the crystal clearness of your love. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Peace, be. Mother, Father, God, infinite love, beloved presence. How wonderful it is to know that you are this life that fills our bodies. You You are this light that illumines mind and heart. And you are this love that flows through our hearts to touch and uplift, heal and bless. And so we take this beautiful love and we radiate it first to our own bodies for our healing and wholeness. We radiate it to our minds and hearts for wisdom and understanding. We send it from our hearts to bless each one who is dear to us, lifting, healing, guiding, prospering. We radiate your love, sending it across this spiritual community, that it becomes a part of that light and wisdom flowing each being, blessing everyone in their world. We radiate your love, sending it across the communities in which we live, sending it across our nation and the nations of the world to heal the fears of all peoples and to bring forth your great wisdom and compassion. And we radiate your love, sending it to all who join us in prayer, whether in mosque or synagogue, temple or church, whether gathered at home or on the hillsides. For in seeking to know you, we are all one. And we radiate this love, sending it to the earth and to the creatures of the earth, and sending it to the heart of every single person. For you are that love in every heart. And in that love, we are one. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Please join me. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And once again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. It is so.
And the whole wide world is my home.
No matter what you see, how it appears to be, always look within before you speak. Ooh, a rule to keep. Always look within. You hold the power. You can change, rearrange, it's true. Change your world on the outside when change starts inside of you. All through the day, whatever comes your way, always look within. Don't have to remain in fear, doubt, or pain. Always look within. The world you see, it's created Thoughts and deeds are the seeds it's from. When you look inside and bring out love, it touches everyone. Walk in the light, ooh, ooh. You don't have to fight, ooh, ooh. Always look within. If you want to change, ooh, ooh, rearrange, ooh, ooh. Always look within. The world, you see, it's created. Thoughts and deeds are the seeds it's from. When you look inside and bring out love, it touches everyone. Walk in the light, ooh, ooh. You don't have to fight, ooh, ooh. Always look within. Don't have to remain, ooh, ooh. And fear, doubt, and pain, ooh, ooh. Always look within. I said, always. Take your time, watch your mind, always look within. I say, always look. Take your time, always watch your mind, always look
So good to have you back. Thank you for all the beautiful music and talent. And so some of you, I think, have been sleeping here. This last week we've had an amazing week of classes. It started at 8 in the morning and went to 9 at night. And we had some brave souls that did it all, and just a tremendous immersion, a wonderful experience. Jeannie and all the folks that helped you make that possible, thank you. All of the good work by everybody. And so one of the things these folks were looking at is how we progress in this awareness of our relationship to this divine presence and power, and what within the beautiful experiences of the Scriptures are the meanings that are hidden within there, that are caught in the symbolic language that tell us of our journey of the soul. And so I wanted to honor that journey that they've been on, discovering those symbols and their meanings. And yet I was guessing by the end of the week they're kind of tired of the Scriptures. I would be. So I thought we'd go to a different source of wonderful wisdom and description of our spiritual journey and look at the Gospel according to Harry Potter. Now, some of you have seen the last movie. How many of you have seen the last movie? Okay. And those of you that haven't, you'll have to after this, I hope. Or you will never look at it again, one way or the other. The symbols that are there, and one of the reasons I believe that this tap so deeply into the consciousness of contemporary world is that it really is true to the journey that we are making as spiritual beings. And of course, many of you remember that first experience that's talked about in the books, that experience where Harry discovers that he's magical. Remember that, where Hagrid suddenly breaks in the door and comes and tells him that he's coming to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry because he's magical. And of course, it's a picture of a spiritual initiation that you've already been through if you're sitting here. It's that awakening to the fact that we are spiritual beings. That's what magical means. The power, one of the ways that in an interview that J.K. Rowling, the author, had with Oprah, she was talking about the different perceptions that are there. And she was describing how it's really not about religion, because religion is looking to a power outside of the self. That the reason magic is so powerful in the human consciousness is that it's talking about a power within yourself. And of course, that's what we're all about. So of course, when that spiritual power that you are, that spiritual being that you are, and its power. And so once we go through that awakening, and think when your awakening occurred. Now, for some of you, it started when you were young and continued, and some of us had to journey a long way before we woke up. But at some point, you began to relate to yourself as a spiritual being and understand what that meant. And that was the point at which you entered Hogwarts. Now, in looking at the different books, each one of the stories there is a picture of issues that come up for us on this journey. And each one involves the confrontation in some sort with he who must not be named, which we don't name here because we don't believe in him. But they call him, in the story, he's called Voldemort, okay? And Voldemort is fear, isn't he? I mean, that's what seeks to overwhelm us. That's what seeks to control us, to take away that which is goodness in our lives, is our experience of fear. So the books become a picture of the different ways in which, as we journey, we confront the fears that, as a spiritual being, are part of what we now have to experience because we're in this third-dimensional body. And they're natural. They're a part of it. And if you look and take the time, as you see back and you share these stories again and again with children and grandchildren, or just decide it's time to journey into that magical world again, you'll see within each of the story that they're symbols of a different way that our issues come to us. And we have to confront the fear that's behind there. Now, I want to really talk about the end of the stories here, because there's a change in our spiritual growth that really starts in the stories at the point where Dumbledore dies. Now, remember, when we're looking at the symbols of the stories, everything within there is a part of us. There's nobody out there. Okay, this is a picture of all aspects of us. So we are Harry, we are Hermione and Ron, we are Voldemort, we are Dumbledore. But part of what happens is Dumbledore is that part of us that looks out and says, oh, there's some wise being out there that's going to do it for me. I'm going to blame my success on them. Or my failure. And there's a point in our growth where we realize it's in you. It's not out there. There's not somebody out there that is your wisdom. There's not somebody out there that is the power is within you. And that starts a different journey. It is one of the initiations where we become consciously aware of the divine within. We are aware of that divine presence within us, and we begin a different process then to uncover it. Now, in the books, the process is hidden in the Horcruxes. Now, if you haven't read the books lately, you may not remember what the Horcrux is, but basically, it is that Voldemort, the sphere, has hidden itself in various places. So he's taken a part of his being and hidden it. And it's the point at which, as spiritual beings, we stop just responding to what life brings up, and we begin the conscious search for where have I hidden the fear in me? Where is that? Because I am no longer willing to live in a world that I allow fear to dominate. So I seek it out and transform it. I confront it and release that fear. And that's what the search for the Horcruxes are. Now, there's so much here that I want to just touch on two, because that gives you a kind of a picture of how to look at it. So when you go again, you go, oh, I know what that is, okay? Now, one is the fear of lack. Okay, and if you remember the movie or the stories, one of the Horcruxes is hidden in the Goblin Bank. It's hidden deep in the earth. In other words, deep within the subconscious. Okay, our fears that we use, the symbol there is greed, the accumulation of stuff. Okay, we use that to try to protect us from these fears. Okay, and the fears are being vulnerable. The fears are that others might have power over us. That the fears are that we don't have power, so we seek to get things to compensate for that lack. Okay, that's the fear of lack. And so in the bank, deep underground, these caves of treasure, they go seeking there, and of course, what happens in the story is all the things they're afraid of show up. They get discovered, so all these people who want to harm them, have power over them, take control of their lives, all that reasons we think we have to have the stuff, okay, show up. Well, there's a marvelous symbol that talks about the abundance, and it is the dragon. Now, the dragon is power. And in much of mythology, the dragon shows up with a hoard of gold. Okay, because it's the power that we're seeking to compensate for with the abundance. Okay, with the stuff. But what happens is they take this power, they go to the dragon, and they free its attention and allegiance to the gold. And they focus its attention on freedom. Because isn't that what you want? You want the freedom to be about your life. You want the freedom to accomplish the purpose of your being. That's all you want this stuff for. To really be about and be who you really are. So the power is there because it's all God. There's only one. So when we take and make that movement and free the attention from the stuff to that which carries us forward, then they overcome the fear and they experience the freedom. Okay? Beautiful, beautiful picture of a part of that search that we all have to go through. We have to look and find, where is that fear in me? Now, I know you all have done that, mastered that one already, so I'll go on to the next. Okay, now the next kind of sits there in a different way. And if you will, it is the hard challenge. It is the fear of death. Okay, what Harry discovers is that in that experience where his mother protected him with her love so that he survived, there was a part of Voldemort, a part of that soul that is fear, that is within him. And only by being killed by Voldemort will that be destroyed. Interesting picture. Part of the fear is within you. And the very nature of that fear is the fear of death itself. And of course, when we come into this third dimensional body and we think this is what I am, and we see the impermanence of this realm and everything in it, obviously at some point we're going to have to let go of that, get over this one, get on with what's ahead of us. But because of our identity as this instead of as what we really are, which is life, intelligence, love, power, the true things that we are, rather than simply what the body is, we get attached and identified with it. And so it is one of the great spiritual challenges of life is to overcome the fear of death. And so Harry has to do it. Now, what lets him do it? When the Apostle Paul was writing in his iPad, he said, perfect love drives out fear. Okay, perfect love drives out fear. So in each of the situations, what you'll see in the movie is it's that love, it's that care of those around him, that love of that which is higher than the fear, which wants to be free from that domination and that which would destroy what life is about. Okay. It is that love that keeps bringing Harry into that courage, or the care, if you will, standing in the care of that higher ideal to meet what is there. So it's the fear that must be driven out. And so it's his love, really his love. In the movie and in the story, it's his love for these people in his life. Love for them that they might live without this fear controlling them. And if it takes death to do it, then he steps into the experience. He goes before Voldemort for that killing curse, which is there. And of course, what he discovers is death isn't very effective. Because the only thing you can discover when you die is that you live. Death is perfectly safe. You are a spiritual being. You were vibrant and alive and present long before you entered into this journey, and you're going to be afterwards. So in that experience where he discovers he is not the body, but he is life, and he gets that wonderful conversation with Dumbledore. Dumbledore remembers it's all his choice. The power really is yours. And he makes the choice to return and complete this purpose which is on his heart. And so he returns now, having faced the fear of death. There are many different ways where you do that. We fear the death of relationships. We fear the death of roles that we've had. We fear the death of perceptions that we have of ourselves. We fear the death of our God thoughts. How can I let go of that thought of God for one that's greater? It gave me so much comfort. What would I do if I found God was more than I thought? We fear death in many forms. And the way through is to meet it with your love. So eventually he must come to this point of the confrontation. But you know, after you have looked and done that spiritual search, and you found those things within yourself, or those places where we've hidden our fear, and you faced them. Facing fear itself just isn't a very big deal. We know the end. Okay. Love always wins. That's the story. Love always wins. When Ms. Rowling was talking with Oprah in her interview, she said, in the end, love wins. It does win. We know it wins. You knew it won before you'd started. We just fell asleep. And this is our awakening. Find that which you fear and go for it. We see it on the personal level. But sometimes our fear is beyond that. We see a world that seems beyond our comprehension. We see problems and difficulties that awaken our fears. From Mahatma Gandhi. When I despair, I remember that all through history, the ways of truth and love have always won. There have been many tyrants and murderers, and for a time, they can seem invincible, but in the end, they always fall. Think of it. Always. Beautiful reminder from a man who showed us how to meet our fear with love. To love that other one so completely. And of course, if you'll notice in the story, Harry never attacks Voldemort. He never tries to kill Voldemort. He simply blocks the intention of harm to himself. When we see those fears, it's our love that transforms them by holding to that love that we are, of having the courage to love who you really are, this beautiful, powerful, radiant child of God, and not let that fear have any power over you. Because then it must do as we see at the end. It self-destructs. It goes away. It is not true. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in your life. The all-loving goodness of God. That's the truth. That's the journey. And that's the final initiation. Now, our folks who were taking the classes found this one a little challenging again and again, because suddenly we're moving from God in me to God as me. One with that, not separate, not God loves me, shows up inside of me, takes care of me. But that is the true nature of our being, that we are one with that love. We are one with that power. We are one with that goodness. That is who you really are. There is one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. The all-loving goodness of God. Say it with me. There's one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. The all-loving goodness of God. That's the truth. Bless you.
Thank you, David. If you would like prayer support for challenges or celebrations, the heart ministers will be in the sanctuary and on the patio to meet with you. They are wearing the lavender stoles. You will recognize them. You're also invited to place a prayer request in the prayer box by the front door or in the book center, and we will be praying with you all week. Now it's time for our prosperity celebration. For Love in Action or credit card donations, there are envelopes in the back of the seat in front of you, like that. I invite you to take your tithe or your offering in your hand and be aware that God is the source of all good. And let's repeat our affirmation together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful.
Working on a building. It's a true foundation. I'm holding up loving banner from the Lord. I'll never get tired working on that building. I'm going up to heaven, oh yes, to get my reward. You see, grandmother told me before she went to glory, she said the road would be rocky and the climb would be hard. But she said, don't you give up until you reach glory and proclaim to the Father how you got over to get your reward. See, I'm working on a building, true foundation. I'm holding up the loving banner for my Lord. I never get tired working on that building. I'm going up to heaven, oh yes, to get my reward. Whoa, one of these days in the sweet by and by, I'm going up to my home in the sky. Going up, I'm going up to heaven. I'm going up to heaven. Yes, I'm going up to glory to get my reward. Come on now. You see me crying, I'm just working on that building. And if you see me praying, I'm just trying to get home. I want to see my Father over in glory. I want to see my mother, my sister, and my brother to get my reward. I'm just working on the building, a true foundation. I'm holding up loving banner for my Lord. I'll never get tired working on that building. I'm going up to heaven. I'm going up to glory. Yes. I'm going up to heaven, oh yes, to get my
We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light, in the light of God.
bless our children together. Children, you are loved, special, and important. God loves you, and so do we. All right. And we receive these gifts, knowing that true gift given is that commitment on each of our hearts to touch this world in a way that brings forth its wholeness, its beauty, and its peace. In the Christ joy. Amen. So let's stand and take hands and share together our prayer of protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And our peace song. You are the love and the light and the peace in the earth right now. So let it shine and have fun.
I was searching here and everywhere to fall in love with someone else, only to find I had to love myself. I was searching here and everywhere to find your love and happiness. Peace and bliss, you have to love yourself. We fall in love with someone else to discover who we need to be in love with. No one else makes you complete. They can only share in your completeness. I was searching here and there. I was searching everywhere. Find your love and happiness, peace and bliss. You have to love yourself. I was searching here and there. Everywhere. Find someone more than a friend who we need to care. A love that never ends. else to discover who we need to be in love with. No one else makes you complete. They can only share in your completeness. I was searching here,
here and there. I was searching everywhere.
find your love and happiness, peace and bliss. You have to love yourself. I was searching here,
here and there. I was searching everywhere.
find someone more than a friend. Will we begin a love that never ends? I was searching here, everywhere. Find your love and happiness, peace and bliss. Love left it to yourself. I was searching here, I was searching here, I was searching here, I was searching everywhere. I was searching here, I was searching here, I was searching here, searching.